Good morning, Griffins.
In today's episode, we will be looking at what would happen to students if free school lunches were removed,
what lessons we have learned from previous hurricanes and what we can apply to upcoming ones,
the safety issues concerning drivers,
and an outstanding JROTC student.
I'm Natalie Daniels.
And I'm Caitlin Bryant. And this is SicklesTV.
Rolling in.
Everyone say SicklesTV.
SicklesTV!
Welcome back.
With recent discussions concerning the education department, a lot of people are worried about the potential ban of free school lunches.
In this next story, students and faculty members describe how a ban like this could affect students that rely on these free meals.
I don't think we can overstate the importance of having meals available for students of all socioeconomic ranges. It's so important for students to have access to balanced, nutritious meals. So right now it's a critical time for student nutrition. Free lunches are on the table now for possibly being cut. And that really, in my opinion, and many others' opinion, is a really dangerous thing because there are so many students who depend on that for their only meals of the day.
I do buy lunch every day, and I do feel it helps me in school because I feel energized in my afternoon classes, which are progressively harder classes, so I'm able to focus and I feel I have more energy than rather if I didn't have lunch. I would feel uncomfortable and hungry the rest of the day, and I would feel more distracted away from my courses because of the lack of nutrition and focus.
Yes, I usually get lunch every day, get in line. It helps me because I actually do have track after school, and the fact that I don't have to focus on being hungry, which I might be when I'm done, and can focus more on schoolwork or just paying attention even if there's no work.
Some of our students do stress about when and where they're going to receive their meals for the day. So being that we provide 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, it takes that one stress away from the students and lets them focus more on their education. If we are able to provide their most basic needs, they're going to be more successful in school.
Well, it helps many students like me that not to pay, and there's more money for education-wise, paying books, paying supplies for class, and I have more concentration during class periods.
I literally can't live without eating something during classes because I fell asleep really quickly, and I feel weak when I don't eat anything. I really need to eat something, at least just one thing.
Like I said, some of our students come here hungry. They haven't eaten since they've last been here at school, and just that we can be that safe place, that place that provides them with their most basic needs, we need to continue this program.
And to know that we're providing that nutrition and those balanced meals for students, I can't even begin to tell you the pride that we feel. And I'm a parent, all of my staff are parents. Every time a student comes into this cafeteria, there are kids. It's ingrained in our DNA. As parents, we want to protect our children and nourish our children. And we take great pride and great delight in being able to do that.
It's hard for students to make it throughout the day without school lunch.
Yeah, with a huge change like this, it would be challenging for many students to focus in class.
Well, our next story takes us back to the end of last year, where we had 2 major hurricanes, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, that were just a few weeks apart.
Isabella Farfan explains more on how many people are still affected by this chaos.
Despite Milton and Helene making landfall almost 5 months ago, their impacts are still felt today as many in our community haven't been able to fully recover. We decided to take a look at what issues still affect them and what they would have done differently in order to minimize the effects of future hurricanes.
No puedo decir que daño total, pero sí, la casa se inundó. Toda la casa, tuvieron que cortarse todas las paredes, se me dañaron muebles, se me dañaron juegos de cuarto, colchones, laundry, prácticamente todo. Nada más que abro la puerta me encuentro con que la casa estaba toda llena de agua, estaba sucia. Al ver la casa, cuando abrí la puerta, pues realmente me impactó. Me impactó de tal forma donde me dije, wow, hay que comenzar de nuevo.
Me personally, we had a lot of damage to trees and our fences and stuff. Our house made it through without any serious damage. We have relatives though that got hit really hard. My in-laws have a house over at the beach and they got flooded 4 feet of water into their ground floor. They had a 2-story house. They were upstairs at the time. And so it just wiped out everything on the ground floor. And we had to cut all the sheetrock out. We went over there many times. And there was a lot of structural damage. They had to basically, abandon the house. And there's a lot of trauma because they were upstairs when this was happening and they could hear all the destruction down below, and they're in their 80s, so it was very traumatic on them. Still to this day, they're traumatized from it.
After hearing their tragic stories, we asked them what lessons they learned which could be applied to the future.
Yo estoy convencida de que el tener ojos sencillos me ayudó bastante. No me apegué a las cosas materiales, puesto que sabía que lo material se puede recuperar con un poco de esfuerzo y sacrificio.
Well, for my family, I think when they say evacuate, you should evacuate, not stick it out. I mean, that's the way it's been for many years. People have stuck it out and they got away with it. Well, this time they didn't get away with it. And as far as the larger community, I think people will take it a lot more seriously now.
With hurricane season coming up, it's important to take the lessons learned from Milton and Helene and learn from them in order to minimize life-changing impacts. As we all can see, there is still work to do to take Florida back to the way it was. But until then, Hurricanes Milton and Helene are still showing their strengths today. Reporting for SicklesTV, I'm Isabella Farfan.
For those still affected by the hurricane, as of March 21st, tens of billions of dollars are being sent to those affected by Helene to help families get back on their feet.
We hope everything gets better soon.
Our next story covers other severe problems that all students should know about.
In Florida, there have been some major safety issues concerning drivers.
Natalie Eichen explains more on the issue.
Teen drivers are at a significant risk for crashes due mainly to their inexperience, distractions, and risky behavioral choices. Though measures of graduated driver licensing laws have greatly reduced the rates of accidents, teenage driving is still a big safety issue.
Teen drivers have the highest crash rates. In 2020 itself, recording over 1 million crashes and 4,405 deaths. Lack of experience causes misjudging hazards, speeding leading to roughly 32% of fatal accidents concerning teenage drivers. The company's influence of one peer over another adds to such behaviors. Moreover, other behaviors further add to teen driving dangers, including distracted driving, alcohol use, and not wearing seatbelts. Others argue that early driving helps teens build confidence and develop an essential skill set. The GDL laws help introduce young drivers to more complicated situations, hence improving their safety. Despite the benefits, however, teens quickly gain overconfidence and venture into reckless behavior. Their impulsivity and sensitivity to peer pressure make them prone to accidents. Stricter regulations such as more hours of supervised driving, increased penalties for reckless driving, and better education programs for drivers are critical in cutting down on risk.
Although driving early does expose one to experience, the statistics cannot lie. Teen driving is responsible for some of the worst accident rates today. Only by introducing more stringent rules, in addition with extended supervision and enhanced education, can those young drivers be really prepared for the road. It is about time we prioritize safety over convenience to really protect either the teen driver or the lives of others. Reporting for SicklesTV, I'm Natalie Eichen.
For student drivers, make sure to drive safely on the road without any distractions.
Yeah, and make sure to follow all rules and do your best avoiding accidents.
For our final story, we have an outstanding student here that has done many wonders for her program.
Lainey Clem has the story.
Sickles High School has a new industrious leader in their ROTC program. Junior Caitlin McKenty has shown true leadership to this program. During the most recent national competition, she proved herself by placing second against Germany.
I've been shooting for about 2.5, almost 3 years now. It's been a lot of hard, long practices, sometimes 2 times a day, shooting when I don't want to shoot. Of course, there was the physical aspect of it, the shooting aspect, getting into the range every day. A lot of it was mental.
Master Sergeant Robinson explains the Nationals location and how Caitlin competed differently to succeed.
The national championship for the Air Force was held in Anniston, Alabama. So we compete against 40 teams that have qualified to get there to the national level. She did finish second at the nationals in the finals. She had to compete against basically the whole team from Germany. She's a hard worker. She dedicates herself to the team. She dedicates herself to the sport. She's very loyal, committed.
One of Caitlin's teammates describes her relentless work ethic and how it rubs off on her peers.
I think Caitlin's inspires us every day by setting the example. She shows up to practice ready to work. She always has that drive. We see her always on time, and always prepared and always ready to show us what to do.
I mean, my friends have always been there by my side. They've always been there to like kind of support me in the background. Those things have always kind of pushed me forward.
Seeing any problems that any other cadets may have, she's always there to help.
Try to uplift them and encourage them whenever I can.
Often overlooked is a different aspect of preparation Caitlin used to get in the right frame of mind for competition.
A lot of it was mental preparation, just thinking to myself, okay, look, this is a big competition, you know that, like, you've done this before though, you've been at that level, you've competed with these people before.
Our number one team that we were facing against was her old school, so I think there was a revenge aspect of it, and they won last year, so I know she wanted to bring it and win it all, and so she really had that ambition.
Caitlin continues to inspire others in her craft in the JROTC program. She's only become an even more impactful leader who strives to be awarded first place in her next competition with confidence. Reporting for SicklesTV, I'm Lainey Clem.
We are very proud of the accomplishments Caitlin has made.
Yeah, make sure to congratulate her on placing second in her national competition.
And on that note, thanks for watching.
Make sure to check out our website at SicklesTV.com.
Check out our Instagram and YouTube at SicklesTV.
And as always, have a great day.
And make good choices.